Yo, thank you for tuning to Sauce on Everything. But I like to put a little sauce on everything. But today I'm not putting no sauce on nothing. I actually want to talk about something that happened in Columbia, South Carolina. Now, it was two teens arrested for a brutal murder of a 13-year-old, Kanaya Baker in Columbia, found bludgeoned, stabbed, and burned. Okay, so condolences to her family, things of that nature. So it says two teenage girls have been arrested in connection with the shocking murder of 13-year-old Kanaya Baker, whose body was found in a vacant home in Columbia, South Carolina on January 15th, 2025. Kanaya had been missing since January 13th, and authorities discovered her body after firefighters responded to a fire at the residence on Cardamon Court. The Richland County Coroner's Office confirmed that Kanaya's cause of death was blunt force trauma, and she had been bludgeoned, stabbed, and burned. The suspects, a 16-year-old and a 15-year-old girl, were taken into custody shortly after the discovery. The 16-year-old has been previously reported missing and was wanted for removing her ankle monitor, while the 15-year-old had a history of running away and had dropped out of high school. Local officials have expressed deep sorrow over the tragedy, with the city manager, Teresa Wilson, stating, "Kanaya's death has shaken me at my core. We must continue to ensure that all of our children are protected and surrounded with the resources that they deserve." Fifth Circuit Solicitor Byron Gibson stated that his office intends to petition the family court to have both suspects charged as adults. Councilman Edward McDowell Jr. emphasized the community's responsibility, stating, "As a community, we must remain accountable, vigilant, and aware of our surroundings. Every one of us has a role in protecting our youth and shaping a future where such tragedies do not happen." So, I mean, it's just such a bad thing. And I wanted to speak on it because hearing everything that was stated there, I think we're really missing what the real issue is. And in my opinion, the real issue is I think the real issue is going to be mental health. And I think that, we talk about mental health in our community. And I think when we talk about it, we always talk about it as, adults. Like, adults need to get therapy. And that's true. I'm quite sure there's a lot of adults out there that could use some therapy. But I think there's a lot of our children that could use some therapy. I was a QBHS for a couple years. I could still be a QBHS. I just haven't retaken my test yet. But a QBHS is a qualified behavioral health specialist, and most QBHSs work with children who do have, they call them mental health issues, but I really, some of the things aren't mental health, like ADHD, ODD. They specified that to be mental health issues, but there are other issues that these children face that they consider mental health issues as well. Things like anxiety disorder. These kids are having anxiety disorder. They say that sibling rivalry, like kids having, bad relationships with their siblings, could be considered a mental health issue. Having a low income household, your child being raised in a low income household can cause mental health issues. Upbringings around other parents. So child born and raised or born with these parents, but then end up going to foster care or whatever, and now has new parents. That's a mental health issue. Um, School problems with, they say problems with literacy and school could be. I'm not gonna say this is because that's just you're not but once again, depending on what transpires from that. So if a child goes to school and they're not learning or um, they're not keeping up with the curriculum, they could get bullied at school. People can pick on them. People can talk about them being, having issues or being, stupid or whatever. Kids can be cruel. So that could turn out to be some type of mental health issue that your child is going through. Um, so I mean, those were some things that when I seen them in the I believe it's a book, the DS5 or something like that. It's a book that we had to go over a few things in, and in the book it had all these different things that you just would never think would um, cause mental health issues for a child. Because I think one of the reasons why is because we don't think about our children having mental health issues. It's like, yo, how you got mental health issues? All you gotta do is go to school and get good grades. Like, damn, like it's not that hard. But depending on how that child was raised, their upbringing, the type of things that they've had to go through as children, they may need therapy now. Like, you don't need to wait. You need to get them therapy now. Um, and the reason, like I said, the reason I bring this up is because I think the two young ladies who did this, I think they definitely have some mental health issues. Um, because I just can't see two young ladies just, it is what it is, but it's just hard to say. It's hard to see two young ladies, do something like this to another young lady. And um, the only thing I could think of that these young ladies are, have some type of mental health issue. I mean, they may not. They may just may. I can't see somebody doing something like this and not having some type of mental health issue. So hopefully, once again, my condolences out to Kanaya and her family. It's definitely sad what happened to her. But now, moving forward, we have to start, because we don't want this to continue happening to our children. People out there are like, you got to be safe, you got to watch your children. Well, these are children around other children. So you're not going to let your children play with other children? You're going to be scared to let your child go out and play with somebody else because you're afraid? I mean, I feel like a lot of people are already like that. I feel like we're already kind of standoffish when it comes to letting our kids just go anywhere. Because I remember back in our day, you could go, to your friend's house and chill and stuff like that. But at the same time, our parents also, they was like, yeah, you go over to nigga house, whatever, but you better, if I call you, you better hear me when I call you. So nigga had to listen out. Like, nigga, keep your door. If I'm in a nigga house, nigga, keep your door open. I gotta hear if my mama call me. But, you kind of had more of that type of, freedom back when we was young to, be able to go over, your friend's house and kick it with your friend and have fun with your friend. But nowadays, and don't get it twisted, depending on what type of friends you got, you may have some fucked up friends, and when you find out that they fucked up, you might want to keep it moving. Because I remember being little, I had a friend that burnt me. Like, we was both playing with fire, but he ended up burning me with like a piece of metal and shit. And it was like, nigga, what the fuck? Like nigga, the metal got hot and the nigga just put it on me. Like, yeah, like, oh, nigga, what? Like, oh no, we can't be friends no more. Like, the fuck, you trying to burn me up? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, kids do kid shit, but this ain't no kid shit. Like, when I say, like, we wasn't no 14, 15, so we wasn't even teenagers, all right? We was fucking kids. But I still was like, oh, this nigga crazy. Like, this nigga burnt me. Like, what kind of shit? You know what I'm saying? But still, you know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have been playing with fire in the first place. But regardless, um, you know, going back to what I was talking about with the young ladies, and you know, it's scary these days. Like, and like I say, it's people shit don't want their kids going outside, let alone going over somebody's house, and then you don't know the people. You know, your child mess around and say something crazy or talk. You never know what can happen in these people's houses. So that's why another reason you tell your children to stay out of people's houses. Don't be going to nobody's house, because shit, you go in their house and something happen, ain't nobody gonna know because you in their house. So, you know, it's just totally different nowadays. And, you know, as with the internet being a place where, you know, a lot of things are publicized, it's definitely different. Not saying kids weren't getting snatched and killed when I was a child. They definitely were. But, you know, now I guess it's so much publicized. It's publicized so much more that, you know, you definitely do kind of fear for your kids and be like, yo, nah, nigga, you can't, I don't know them people. You can't go over there. I don't know them people. So, but yeah, so once again, you know, and I ain't even about to play this because I read everything to you, so there was no reason to play it out. But you know, I hope they say these young ladies are going to get charged as adults. I think that's fair. You know, if you want to you want to take somebody's life like you an adult or something, or like you run something, then yeah, we're going to charge you as adults, and you guys are going to do your time, you know, as adults. So, and they're going to do a lot of time for this, and it's just so sad. So, once again, appreciate the love. You know what this is. Sauce on everything. Peace.